What's good, family? Welcome to another episode of An Honest Conversation about hip hop. It's your boy, Hip Hop Old Head, aka D. Rainey, aka Hip Hop's Uncle Phil, and as always, with me tonight, I have the one and only.
It's your boy, Sean Capone, the greatest rapper never known, with the mic and the bang, like the pastor eating that tang, baby.
The pastor eating the booty.
The booty in the tank. I ain't seen the video. I just see this old motherfucker with his tongue out, and they got little licking motions and shit, animations and shit like that. I don't condone the booty part, but
so does that
it's
kill?
working the front.
Does that kill his the faith in the congregation? Is it done?
Hell no, he gonna have many new members on Sunday and shit, and about 90% of them is gonna be female. And shit.
Oh man, that's crazy. And as always, I got with me the one and only
Big Pooh. That's it this week.
That's it this week. It's been one of them weeks. Yeah, man. Well, I'm glad you're here with us, and fellas, we're here to talk some shit tonight. So before we do, let me just really quickly shout out Cali Dreams for everybody in the Inland Empire. You can go ahead and get hooked up with all the herbals you need. So check them out on Snapchat, Cali Dreams 13. That's CALIDREAMZ 13. Check them out on Snapchat if you're in the Inland Empire. So, off top, Notorious B.I.G. is nominated to get selected to the the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, along with Whitney Houston, Rufus and Shaka Khan, and some other acts. Currently in the Hall of Fame, you have Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, Run DMC, the Beasties, Public Enemy, NWA, and Tupac. I'm going to start with you, Pooh, because I think you are more, I don't want to say critical with Big, you're more, I think, honest with Big. But do you think he is worthy at this point, or do you think that there's maybe some artists that should get in before he gets in?
No, I think it's deserving. Even though he doesn't have a large catalog, I mean, he's going down as like one of the icons. I mean, for whatever reason, like the 80s, nobody really looks at it anymore. It just seems like the 90s, like I said before, is like the forefront of hip hop. And I think he kind of surpassed the genre, so I think he's deserving. Something just popped in my mind. I was like, you know what? If I'm not mistaken, Nirvana may have had one or two albums before Kurt Cobain killed himself, and he's in. So if they want to be fair, then it's the same shit. So
yeah, that's some real shit. I didn't think about it that way. Yeah. What about you, Simon? When it comes to Big, is Big deserving, or do you think that there might be some names that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has passed over?
No, he's definitely deserving. I mean, of course, there's going to be names that's obviously going to be missed out. There's probably legends in there, prior to Big that, have been in the industry a lot longer. But what Big did in such a little time frame that, he was here, I mean, is fucking legendary. You know what I mean? He took the art form into a whole different level. And what I love about Big, and what most folks don't realize, is that Big took the art form and expanded the shit. Like he can do anything. You know what I mean? He can go ahead and cover every category with the art and still make that shit fly. So he owned his own craft, and I still don't know if cats are as well ranged as Big with the deliveries and just jumping different topics and things of that nature. Cats usually stay on one or two topics and kind of stick with it. With Big was so versed. The impact that he had made, he's definitely deserving.
No, and I definitely agree. I'm not gonna pretend I wasn't a fan of Big. But what shocked me is when I read those names, I didn't hear LL Cool J.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about that.
You know what I mean? Like, and I didn't hear Ice-T. So I hear those two artists, and not to say they're more deserving of Big, but I'm shocked that for whatever reason they weren't up for consideration.
So who's in again already?
So as far as hip hop,
Yeah.
information that I received here was the Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. The message off top that got to be in. You know, if you're chronicling hip hop, you got that has to be in there. Run DMC again has to be in there. The Beasties has to be in there. Public Enemy has to be in there. NWA has to be in there. And Tupac, rap's biggest icon, has to be in there. So these are all solid picks. You can't look at these and say, you know what, nah, that's whack. Somebody should be in there before. But again, no disrespect to B.I.G., but B.I.G. before LL and Ice-T. Again, I understand Pac, biggest icon in hip-hop history. So he gets in before anybody else who, you know, was deserving before him gets in, just based off that. When it comes to hip-hop, I'm that nigga. You know what I mean? So I'm the dude at the front of the line. So now the consideration, in my opinion, should be for those legends. You know, maybe you bring in two. Maybe you bring in an icon like Big, and then you bring a legend who deserves that, because, you know, those are just two people we're talking about. You know, you can say Eric B and Rakim. I mean, it'll never happen, but the right shit to do would be Two Live Crew, Kane. You know,
I mean, see, thinking about it now, it's like there's a line. Like, if you say a hip hop Hall of Fame, then of course they're all in. But I think since it's rock and roll, it seems like they're going for the elite.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like if you put Kane in, then you got to put in Eric B and Rakim. You got to put LL. Like the whole circle of them niggas got to all come.
But so just crossover wise, then why isn't LL in? He had a lot of crossover music. I mean, you know, Hey Lover and you know, what's the shit? I sit alone in my room. I need love. You know what I mean? Those are big records. You know, that crossed over. You know what I mean?
I just think because LL is alive, you know, then they could probably go back to it next year or the following year, or, you know, they know L ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how many of the Furious Five are still living. Hopefully they all are. No disrespect. That's real spit.
I mean, I agree, but his shit got real delicate in the 90s.
Who, L?
L.
Oh, of course.
You know
of
what I mean?
course. Of course.
I don't know, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. LL is... He's an icon.
He is.
Definitely. I don't know why they would skip over him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe they just going for the
it's probably the names. You know, if you're gonna bring, I think if you're gonna bring them out, you bring them out.
Because the kids these days don't give a fuck about LL.
No, that's
but
true.
But Biggie name still rings.
Biggie name still rings. You know, I just think for whatever reason, I don't know if it was LL turning his back on music, that and just going and do the acting thing, that kind of killed his impact. Because at one time LL was that dude. You know what I mean? And when he came back with the love songs, the women was on him, and then he just kind of bounced. Remember, he had a sitcom. He was that first dude with the sitcom.
In the house.
Yeah.
So that just tells you where he was at, the level of where he was at. And I know the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is based off your music, not what you've done outside of that. But still.
Do you think it's politics because they lump Big and Pac together all the time? Like Big and Pac's in. So
yeah.
We gotta put Big.
It'll always be the East Coast West Coast beef will always consume their legacy, which is really horrible, because when you look at how different it was as far as the style of music that they were making and the stories that they were telling, they always get clumped up into the beef, not their artistry, you know. And that's really, when you look into what they're doing, you're able to see what was spawned from that. Not their beef of the East and West Coast, but their artistry.
Do you have to be retired to get in, or are they putting in active singers?
Well, I mean, none of these groups are still actively making music, right? Public Enemy's no more. NWA, of course, is no more. Run DMC is no more, and the Beasties are no more. So, it looks like there's still people who are living. Of course, Dre and Cube are still alive. So are Chuck D, Flavor Flav, Terminator X, and them. but they're no longer making music. So maybe you do have to be retired a certain amount of time. I don't know who released music as a group last. Would probably maybe be Public Enemy, or no, probably the Beasties. But that was probably a long time ago. So maybe there is some. Yeah. So maybe L isn't being recognized because he's still got some time to go before he can come up to be nominated. You know, who knows?
Because he put out that bullshit as Headstrong, whatever the fuck that shit was.
Lord have mercy. If your man is thirsty, or if your girl is thirsty, have your man reimburse me. Like what?
Let's make it interesting. Let's open the sports book on it.
All right.
Who the fuck goes in next?
Into the hip hop Hall of Fame?
If you had to put your money on it, who do you feel they're gonna go ahead and put into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Hip hop wise, next.
You talking about through their scope? Who you think?
I mean, no, as far I mean, I mean, put it through their scope. But who do you think that would be their choice? Who would you have your money on?
I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know if he has the credentials. Will Smith. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know if Will's music career is well, it's hip hop, so that's a category. They have the hip, you know, they're bringing them in, they're recognizing hip hop in the artists, you know, hip hop artists. So Will Smith has the name. I don't know if he has a catalog that stands up with some of the other artists or the impact that some of the other artists have. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow they try to get it in there. But here's a name I think needs recognition: Queen Latifah.
No, of course.
Put Queen Latifah in the Hip Hop Hall of
Fame. It's rock and roll.
I'm in the rock and roll. I'm sorry. Put her in the. Well, she has a Grammy for singing you know, she's got 2 Grammys. People forget that she got a Grammy for the Dana James jazz album, and she got a Grammy for what was it, Unity or whatnot. So she's got 2. That's resume right there.
I know an icon that's definitely going if this nigga stopped putting that bullshit in his fucking sound waves.
What's that?
He already just got a star, Snoop.
Yeah.
Snoop is my bet.
Snoop should be instantly, as soon as he retires, move to the front of the line, give him his shit. But yeah, I mean, Snoop just continues to make music for some reason. I'm not sure why, but it gets made. But
Hobby City.
Peace. Hey, everybody need an outlet, right? We here. You know what I mean? I can't hate on you, sure.
This nigga wear silk scarves with dreadlocks with a fucking push broom mustache.
And he's one of the ghosts. That's crazy shit. If that doesn't tell you how crazy hip hop is, you know what I mean?
Like fucking the outlaw Josie Wells and shit. Oh, shit.
You take a picture of Snoop, you say this is one of the greatest ever to do it. And if you said that, you would never believe it. You'd be like, nah, that's crazy. You know what I mean? But hey, man, salute to him. So, did you guys hear about the Gina Rodriguez girl? I'm sorry, lady. I forget what program she's on. Something I think on WBN or UPN or some shit. But she was caught using the N-word. Ready or not, here we come for the Fugees. Heebie-jeebies, right? Frontin' niggas give me heebie-jeebies. So she rapped this on Instagram, and Instagram came forward. Black Twitter came for. She later apologized 2 times. And then earlier today, there's another video that came up. It was something she did in college or something where, again, she's rapping like some, I forget what song it is, with the niggas in the hook. And she's rapping it to, you know, a dude in the video or whatnot. So I'm going to start with you, Big Pooh. What's your thoughts?
Why me?
I'm going to come to you, man. I think you're the authority figure in the room on this one. But, I mean,
you may be surprised.
No. I just want to hear. How do you feel about non-African Americans using the N-word? Saying nigga.
See, it's kind of hard for me because there's niggas and there's black people. First off.
Okay.
I don't think niggas give a fuck.
Right.
But I think these highbrow black folks
Do.
they pick and choose who they want to say this shit to.
Okay.
And what happens is, and this is all off the dome, ain't no research, no nothing.
Yeah. No, I got you.
So you get somebody like her who's non-threatening, gonna apologize, and the black folks attack her. But since she's not ghetto, the niggas won't defend her.
I got you.
So you get somebody like Cardi B says that shit, but she got that hood in her.
Yeah.
Then the hood is like, well, Cardi B, one of us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we can't stop tripping and falling over our fucking selves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way I look at this shit. So, I don't know, man. Look, growing up over here on the West, I know it's different. We don't have, like, as many Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and all that stuff that they have back east, where they're accepted in the community and they say it. It's no issue. The Fat Joe.
Yeah.
That's just the way it goes. Well, on the West Coast, every Samoan ever met say nigga.
Yeah.
With immunity, impunity, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And niggas don't say shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, man. Like, it's damn near like it's a term of endearment. We all know that motherfuckers ain't saying that shit in a hurtful manner. You can tell by the tone. I've been called this shit enough in my lifetime to know when somebody's saying that shit in a demeaning way.
Yes, I know the difference between the ER and the A.
And it's 2019. It's like, we got fucking bigger fish to fry than to worry about a Latin person, whether they recognize it or not, that has African roots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people embrace it. Because I've seen the back and forth on social media is so fucked up. It's like, you don't even want to join the thread because it's so much ignorance, and then there's people making sense, but there's so much ignorance in there, your point not going to be taken anyway.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
To be honest with you, it's so embarrassing to me that I back out of the threads. Like, I don't even want to read it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It make me feel a certain way. I mean, man, to me, I think by everybody embracing the word, it takes the sting out of the word.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, at this point, it's kind of like, if somebody told me that word in a demeaning way, at 40 now, I'm gonna laugh at him. Like, what the fuck? Like, you trying to use that shit to make me come out of character, so I can blow what the fuck I got going.
Right.
Like, I'm bigger than, like, a motherfucker can tell me that's why your mom sucked my dick. As long as they ain't in my face and they said that shit, for real, like, you don't even know me.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I'm way above that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. Like, when you secure with who you are, words don't fucking hurt. We was told that shit as kids. Sticks and stones may break bones, but words never hurt me.
Right.
It took me to be a fucking adult to realize, like, words don't fucking hurt. And why the fuck I'm gonna argue with somebody over repeating some shit that they've grown up in this? I don't even know how old she is, but I know she's younger than me. This entire generation has grown up with black folks actually in the forefront of doing things, and our culture is, like, really accepted.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? They don't know any different. Let me flip this real quick.
Yeah.
I did a count. Since we say Samoans, tongues, whatever, they've been saying this shit, and it's no issue.
Yeah.
Let's just say Marcus Mariota is one of us.
Okay.
He's a nigga, so to speak.
Right.
There's 32 teams in the NFL. I looked like 3 weeks ago. There was, like, including Mariota, like 15 niggas starting in the NFL at quarterback.
Wow. That's
You wouldn't
dope
even
as fuck.
think that.
Nah,
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't think about that.
It's a whole new generation where back in the day on Tecmo Bowl, you had Warren Moon and Randall Cunningham.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, real shit.
And then, I mean, last season, how many were there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so that's a good thing. You know, that's the game is evolving in those areas.
It's 32 teams. You basically at about 47%.
Yeah.
You would never, ever think that.
And what's my man? Lamar Jackson looks like he's gonna be all right. You know what I mean? Hopefully, I'm not a Cowboy fan, but hopefully Dak get his shit together. So
I'll tell you what, he ain't gonna get that $40 million.
Hey, you know what? He tried to gamble. You never know. He might go on a great run, and Jerry likes the kid, and I don't know, man. That shit is crazy.
I had this conversation last night about Dak, and my partner was telling me that with the Cowboys struggling right now, he was saying that they're putting the weight on Dak's shoulders to see if he earned that money. You know, and if you think about it, they're not dependent on Zeke because they already know what Zeke is capable of. So this is what they're doing is showing improvement with Dak to see if he can carry the squad to the next level. And right now, it don't look like it.
So what happens then? So Dak gets the coach fired, and then Dak doesn't get re-signed. Is he a free agent? Or
Nah,
he's just trying to extend
Nah, he's
himself.
gonna get re-signed, but not at the ticket that he's expecting.
Well, if they're sorry, why do you sign him?
There's no other option.
You got to, because in the NFL you can't go with a sorry quarterback. That will set your franchise back minimum 5 to 7 years.
I mean, because if you look at the window between Aikman retiring and them discovering Tony Romo with the Quincy Carters and all them other niggas, they went a whole decade of being just futile.
Well, let me tell you this. All right, let me ask you this. Dream scenario shit. Not dream scenario, but just kind of fantasy booking, like on some Madden shit. What if, and I'm, again, not even sure what Dak's contract's looking like, but let's say they let him walk this offseason. Before the draft, they trade for a healthy Cam Newton.
Still not gonna work, because just like Dak, Cam can't read a defense.
Cam took a team to the Super Bowl.
He sure did, but so did Jake Delhomme. You know what I mean? That don't mean shit.
With a nice running
Trent
game.
Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Would you sign him for fucking $20 million? Fuck
No, I'm just saying. I mean, if they're gonna make a run, I mean, let me just ask you hypothetically, who do you like better, healthy Cam Newton or what you've seen from Dak Prescott so far?
Shit, I'm taking one of the rookies. I'm either waiting or I'm getting two.
The question I'm asking is one of those two. That's the option. We go with
You got Jerry Jones.
we go with
you
Cam.
got many options.
It's a question I'm asking. Cam, right now, if you had to take, who are you taking to run the Cowboys offense? A healthy Cam Newton or Dak Prescott? I'm asking you.
Probably. I mean, I'd probably pick Dak just because he's more effective throwing than what Cam is.
I'm taking Dak. I'm taking Dak over real shit. Off the top of my head, I'm taking him over 50% of the league.
What?
Real shit. The reason why I say that is because Dak is the type of quarterback where he thrives with a supporting cast. What's going on is the O-line is banged up. The receiver that came from the Raiders, I'm blanking on his name.
Cooper.
Cooper is
Banged up.
He's soft as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, straight up. He's dangerous, healthy.
Killing that former Raider.
But he's soft.
Yeah.
He's soft. So, and then with that chaos, like Dak dropped below his skill. Like he's the type of quarterback where he needs everything around him, like a well-oiled machine. Then go forward and he can manage the game.
And they need to get him an athletic tight end who can stretch the field. Like, no disrespect to Jason Witten, you're going to be probably a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But you're done, partner.
Yeah, he retired and came back. He's a statue out there.
Jerry Jones should have went out there and got somebody who could,
He tried.
Who was that?
They tried to get Dallas Goedert last year from South Dakota State.
Okay.
The Eagles didn't even need him. They drafted him because they knew Dallas was going to get him the next pick. Matter of fact, they traded in, took him to be their second tight end.
But there had to be somebody who was out there. Where's my man that retired from the Chargers? I know he's old, but Gates,
Nah,
yeah.
He's a career Charger though. He ain't gonna. I think he'll hang it up before
He wouldn't go put the star on his head.
I don't think it'd be beneficial for the Cowboys. I mean, shit, that's.
I mean, again, I'm just fantasy booking.
I mean, another thing with Dak is because the nigga, he's not built like the typical quarterback. He doesn't get hurt. He's a company man. However you want to look at that. He's a leader. The teammates respect him.
But will he ever be good enough to win the Super Bowl?
I mean, it's a crapshoot. You could take a quarterback in the top 5, and they won't give you what Dak gives you. It's just look at the track record. How many first round flameouts do we see?
No, I understand that.
What I'm saying?
I'm just saying. I'm not really saying where he is picked or whatnot. I'm just saying, do you think he has the skills? Do you think he has the intangibles to get Dallas to and win the Super Bowl?
This is the way I look at it. What's the nigga that got his team snatched from the Clippers? Racist.
Sterling.
I look at Jerry Jones as like Donald Sterling. Wow. Not in a racist. What I mean is
just the type of owner he is.
It's the biggest brand of any sports. Right. The Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott, whether he wins or not, he has star power. Is marketable. The Cowboys are as popular as they ever been. It's about the money. It's like it's to the point where they don't have to win the Super Bowl as long as they're relevant in a playoff team every year. The money, Jerry Jones is going to make his money.
Yeah.
I think he'll die before they win the Super Bowl, and I'm not saying that wishing the man death.
Right.
But I think he's comfortable just having a winning franchise.
Yeah, and America's #1, the revenue, the stadium. It's about it's more than football now. It's about the experience.
Exactly.
Let me ask you this because we're just talking about football, but so there was a rumor that Mike Tomlin or the Washington Redskins really want Mike Tomlin to be their next coach and GM and all that other crazy stuff. So supposedly they're going to throw big money at him. If you're Mike Tomlin, can you go to the Redskins? Not because of the team, but because they're called the fucking Washington Redskins. Sign? What do you think?
I don't think that's any of his concern. I mean, I think he's looking at it as a franchise aspect. I mean, even if he is the GM, how much power is he going to have? And, I mean, shit, at the end of the day, it's all going to fall on him. So, you know, if that shit don't pull through, you know what I mean, it's shit that might kill his career, period. You know what I mean, as far as head coaching, you know what I mean, and having any future potential at any other front office positions. So I mean, if I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm staying the fuck away from there. I've heard homeboy Snyder he's not a good dude to work for. You know what I mean, as far as paying quality free agents, bringing them in and shit like that. So I mean, I think he should avoid it, but I don't think he's gonna trip on the Redskin name.
What about you, Pooh?
I see the angle you're saying. You can't really say how a man is built. I understand what you're saying. Like, are you going to stand for something? The way that the NFL is, how the collusion shit and blackballing. If let's say he came out and said that's the reason why he doesn't want the job, he'll never work another day in the NFL. As soon as he, you know what I mean? I think they'll get him up out of there. On the flip side of the coin, he has the best job in the NFL.
Yeah.
Bar none. They don't fire their coach. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Steelers don't fire their coaches. They've only had, if I'm not mistaken, four coaches in franchise history.
Yeah.
They're responsible for minority coaches getting interviews. The whole Rooney Rule came from them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's been to 2 Super Bowls, won one. He's
good.
He's good.
Yeah, especially with this season with Ben going down and everything like that. That's they're gonna give him a free season to get it back together. And if I'm not mistaken, they're winning, right?
Yeah, they turned it around.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I forgot the fucking word. It's not an analogy. But on that whole Dak Prescott shit, I got something for you.
Yeah.
The Cowboys are relevant, right?
Of course.
With Dak, they go to the playoffs. They preseason, because of the team talent, they got the expectation in the media like, oh, they're gonna go to the Super Bowl. That's all that. It keeps jerseys selling, all of that. We all know in the late '80s, the Cincinnati Bengals were a decent team.
Yeah.
Had Ickey Woods, made it to the Super Bowl, all that. Then they became trash forever.
Yes.
Until they hired Marvin Lewis, right?
Right.
Marvin Lewis could barely get into the playoffs, but they were a 10-win, 9-win team.
Yeah.
For 15 years. People said, why don't you fire him?
Yeah.
They let him go 1 year.
Yeah.
How many fucking games have they won this year?
Shit, I think they're
None.
None.
No, damn.
So, would you rather have Marvin Lewis 9-10 game winning ass, or try to start over and not win shit and you're in the dumps again?
You know what? I mean, yeah. I mean, if I'm trying to, so here's the thing: how bad is the bottom line hurt? So if those stadiums aren't filled, if them stadiums aren't packed, and so Marvin could have been given everybody 9 to 7 seasons, but what do those home games look like? Maybe those home games aren't sold out. Maybe half of people are there. Even though you're winning, people are tired of the product. So I'm not sure. It just depends. I mean, my answer, I guess, is it depends on whether or not we're selling out our home games.
Well, you know what? That's true too, but I do know when Marvin was there, depending on, I know Ocho Cinco came through. He's gone. Yeah, AJ Green, everybody came through. I didn't mind watching Cincinnati, Pittsburgh bang heads.
Yeah, no.
Now, I don't want to see that shit.
Yeah, nah. Because they're trash.
It's a different culture now.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, and it just depends. Again, I'm sure if they were making money,
yeah,
and people weren't, because the fans wanted Marvin Lewis gone, so they're not coming to the games. You're not making money, so Marvin, you got to go. You got to bring somebody else in to energize the fan base. You know what I mean? And get everybody rocking and rolling again.
What shit?
It's gonna be a long time.
Yeah, they're gonna be the Browns. Yeah. They are the Browns now.
Yeah. So real quickly before we get back into hip hop, let's talk about your Niners real quick, sir.
Oh shit. Okay, go ahead. Bring it on.
Can you thank my Atlanta Falcons for the least offensive part of your guys' unbelievable record right now?
Fuck no.
That's a Redskin.
You know what? Shit, because
He was our old coordinator first.
I mean, Shanahan. He's a disciple off the old Bill Walsh tree. That's his daddy. So let's end that there.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the Falcons ain't winning. You ain't gotta try to steal a little joy.
I'm trying to get a little something.
But I'm 100 though. I said it, and it may not have been on the mic. I would have been happy if we would have went 8-8 this year.
Yeah.
We could still fucking go 8-8.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we basically beat the fuck out of the AFC North. Everybody except the Ravens, who we got to beat them. We'll sweep the division.
Yeah.
So we haven't really played a lot of the top teams, but it is the NFL, and regardless who you play, you can lose any week.
Yeah.
And our numbers as far as shutting teams down, I think we're doing okay.
Yeah.
But I don't see us going to the Super Bowl. Now, if we go, don't talk shit to me because I didn't have faith in my team. I just, you know what I mean? Like,
so who do you think is better in the NFC right now than the 49ers?
New Orleans.
Really? Even with Breeze still being out?
I think they're better because they didn't miss a beat with Breeze being out. So that tells you how well constructed the team
but
is.
Defensively, you don't think the Niners will be able to hang with Kamara and them offensively?
Well, see, Jimmy G hasn't had a down game. I remember in the preseason, niggas was talking shit like, Jimmy G is this, that, and this, and that.
I still took him in my fantasy. I knew better.
Yeah, because you got to think about it. He's a year off of football,
right,
and he never really played before then.
Right.
I mean, now that he's in there, and the coach is he's doing his thing. I mean, everybody's due for a bad game.
Yeah, and this is Shanahan's and Jimmy G's first full year together. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So this is still learning curves. And then in preseason, they never give everybody everything.
And you're allowed to throw those interceptions.
Yeah.
You get a chance to throw some shit on the wall, see if it sticks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think they have a good shot of getting out the NFC. I'm not really impressed with Green Bay. They have their flashes. New Orleans has some injuries they need to go ahead and overcome. Detroit looks pretty good.
It's that coach.
Yeah. And then who else? I'm missing another team that's doing well. Seattle. Yeah. Russell's balling his ass off.
We got them twice. We haven't seen them.
Those are gonna be good games.
Yeah.
Those are gonna tell me who's coming out the NFC. It's either gonna be Niners or Seattle. I like the Niners defense is scary, even though you got that Trump Joey Bosa loving motherfucker on you. Fool gonna be over here with a little 45 Trump jersey, with a little Niner
look,
Trump
real
jersey.
shit. Have y'all heard me mention his name once?
No. I know you don't recognize him.
But are you impressed by his play, Pooh?
To be honest with you, this is real shit. No bullshit. I haven't seen one Niner game. We don't get airtime.
Bosa's the truth.
I heard he's the truth.
But I shot you those links.
I know, but I'm a softball dad on Sundays, so I don't get to see the games. And like those links work perfect at home with my Wi-Fi, but when I'm streets, it's a little bit different.
They whack out in the streets.
You know what I mean? So, but it makes it a lot. Look, it makes it a lot easier on him when you got 2, 6, 7, 300+ pound D tackles that are first round picks, and we got a top 3 pick in the draft rotating with him on the D line. Plus, we got D4 at the other D end. So, I mean, you can't focus on him because you got first rounders across the defensive front.
Right.
Where we got no name linebackers making plays because motherfuckers can't contain the defensive lineman.
Yeah.
If we have issues up front, then we'll see. I mean, but don't get me wrong, he's talented.
How long is that defensive coordinator, your defensive coordinator, for?
I'm not sure. To be honest with you, I had never even heard of his name until this year.
Yeah, but they talking him up big though, and that's the thing. Is it the fact that you have that elite talent up front, or is it his defense?
I think it's a combination. And what's his name's healthy. I think motherfuckers think because his name got so big and he was so young, you think that he's old, but he's not even fucking 30 yet.
Yeah.
Sherman.
Yeah.
He's a veteran Hall of Famer we got on the back end.
Yeah.
So he still controls a side of the field. So with Sherman making a receiver take an extra second to get open, the defensive line got an extra second to get to the quarterback. Yeah. It all goes hand in hand.
Man, he got healthy
Yeah.
You know, Julio really hurt him. You know, and you know, physically, mentally. And you saw once he got away from Julio.
never did shit to Sherman.
Yes,
what are
he
you
did.
talking about?
We got it on tape.
Man, Roddy
bro,
White balled on
Nah,
Sherman. It wasn't
yeah.
fucking Julio.
It was Julio, just like 2 years ago.
Julio Galvin?
Julio Galvin. Hateration.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Julio's, he's
First ballot Hall of Famer, even though he'll never have a ring.
He a pure blood.
Yeah.
I give him that. You know, he was raised on them chitlins, white beans and
White
shit.
beans. Snap peas.
But he can't fucking score. Amazing.
That's offense scoring. He scored the year that your boy was the coach and shit. Yeah.
It is what it is. But what it is we got the best fucking tight end in the NFL.
You like Kittle? Yeah.
Yeah, Kittle.
Yeah.
Him and Kelsey.
So you like him over Kelsey or no?
No, I would take Kelsey.
Kelsey's more of a hybrid because he doesn't fucking block.
Yeah.
Kittle's on the end.
Kittle
of the line.
does it all.
He does it all.
Yeah. He does. I give him props on that. So speaking on props, man, let's get back to some hip hop real quick. Complex is known for giving cats lists. So and giving us DJ academics. So they dropped a Complex top rap albums of the 90s. So of course we're not going to go over all 90, but we'll go 10 to 1. And I'd like you guys' feedback on some of these. So according to Complex, number 10, Tupac, All Eyes on Me. Now, was it Usain that said that wasn't Pac's best album?
Yeah. I mean, as far as musically,
Yeah.
no. I mean, it probably had the most impact, you know what I mean, as far as him coming out of jail and, you know, perfect timing, you know, for the release or whatnot. But, I don't think that's his best work.
What about you, son? Pooh?
Well, you saying is that deserving of a top 10 spot in the 90s?
Yeah, 90s, top 10, All Eyes on Me, number 10.
I mean, it depends what else is on the list.
Okay, let's go with 9, Mobb Deep, the infamous.
Okay.
8, Outkast, AT Aliens.
Yeah. Okay.
7, Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubts.
Okay.
6, Wu-Tang, End of the 36. 5, Big, Ready to Die. 4, Raekwon, Only Built for Cuban Links. 3 is a Tribe Called Quest, A Low End Theory. 2, Dr. Dre, The Chronic. Number 1, Nas, Illmatic.
Well, they definitely got some people who know their shit that put that compiled the list.
Yeah.
It was an impactful album, but I think Me Against the World is recognized as his best album.
Yeah.
But it's hard. To be honest with you though, I could probably think of an album or two that I would put on there before that. But you gotta have a Pac album, I guess, because he was in the 90s.
Yeah, he's again, biggest icon, but also the 90s was Pac.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you can't talk the 90s without Pac.
But you know what's crazy? The nigga technically was deceased for damn near half the 90s.
That's a crazy shit, though.
Yeah.
That's a crazy shit, though. You know what I mean?
What, 92? So really, he had a 4-year run.
Yeah.
That motherfucker went freshman to senior year, and that was it.
So let me just ask you this. Let me ask you some albums off top that do you think are worthy of top 10 status? Didn't make the cut. Just gonna throw some stuff out there. Old Dirty Bastard, Return to the 36 Chambers. 95. Is that not a top 10 album?
Look.
87 on this list.
Ooh, 87.
87 behind 8 Ball and MG coming out. Redman, What the Album. Scarface, Mr. Scarface is back. EPMD, Business as Usual. Compton's Most Wanted at 81. Music to Drive By. Little Kim, Hardcore. 1996. Master P, Ghetto D. 1997.
Smoking some Ghetto D on Complex and shit.
But you know what? That's my favorite fucking Master P album.
Right, and you know, no knock to that, but
above ODB, fool?
yeah,
No.
Right,
I'm kind of in a.
We about to fight.
I'm in the moment right now
Yeah.
because it's just showing you how fucking dope the '90s is. Because a lot of that shit you naming it, I know that's way back on that list.
Yeah.
It's shit that I loved.
Yeah, no, it's still quality records, but you know, I mean, Del the Funky Homo Sapien, No Need for an Album, Karis Run, Return to the Boom Bap, Spice One, 187 He Wrote, Black Moon, Ended the Stage, 3-6 Mafia, Mystic Styles, 73 Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Mecca and the Soul Brother, way too high on this list. Or I mean, you know, it should be much higher, in my opinion. Nas, It Was Written. Group Home, Living Proof, that was a dope album. Mace, Harlem World, Mobb Deep, Hell on Earth, Diamond D, Stunts, Blunts, and Hip Hop. 67, Master Ace Incorporated. 66, The Roots, Things Fall Apart. 65, Digital Underground, Sex Packets. Why are you laughing? The Master Ace?
No, he laughing because he said D gonna go down the whole fucking list.
No, nah. I was just trying to go by some other crazy shit. I was just looking at some of this because some of this stuff, like, you think maybe just because it's the region that it's not really accepted, you know.
The South loved 8-Ball MSG.
Right. And I think the Alcoholics are like at 63 with Coast to Coast, which is one of my favorite albums ever. And this is at 63.
Yeah,
you know
Coast to Coast was better than 21 and over. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. It's
Capital Punishment,
it's
48.
It's so much dope shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I was just listening to Capital Punishment over here, and I forgot about the skit where I forgot what was going on. They were shooting, and he was like, "You shot me." He was like, "You gonna make it?" He was like, "Yeah, you shot me." I said, I forgot how hard this pun shit was. But man, look. To focus on the top 10,
yes.
we got AT Aliens on there,
right?
Which y'all know I love that album,
right?
We got the Tribe Called Quest. Which album was that again?
Low End Theory.
Low
which
End
I would
Theory.
have had Midnight Marauders in my opinion.
That's exactly where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
I know arguably niggas will take Criminalite over AT Aliens.
Right.
We'll take Midnight Marauders over Low End Theory, and then I know you're not a Pac fan, but most people would take Me Against the World over All Eyes on Me.
In my opinion, I take Machiavelli over all of that. You know what I mean? I was expecting to see Machiavelli in the top 10.
To be honest with you, my personal opinion, I think Machiavelli's his best album.
Right, I do too. Even though there was Toss 'Em Up and some How Do You Want It, the commercial singles I wasn't really fucking with.
But How You Doing It was on All Eyes on Me.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. But Toss It Up was on.
Yeah, right. That was the only commercial song on there besides the bullshit ass with I Don't Like to Live and Die in LA, but I understand why people liked it.
Yeah.
But he died in Vegas. Shout out to Grumpy.
Oh, that is some real shit. Shout out to Grumpy. Truth, truth.
Next Friday, y'all ready?
Oh, he's coming out here next Friday?
Next Friday.
That's crazy. So, Simon Capone, top 10. How you feel, man?
I mean, I hate these lists because it's just so much. I mean, there's so many outcomes that you can come with, man. So I don't fuck with these lists, man.
How is Snoop not in the top 10?
Yeah, Doggy Style. I mean, Doggy Style is probably bigger. You know what I mean?
That's right. Like how is that not there?
Because it seems like they're giving you the Chronic instead.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. The lists are kind of impossible because I've learned there is no fucking such thing as top 5 and top 10.
Yeah.
We have way too much material in the hip hop genre to do a top 10. To be honest with you, I would do a hell of a debate, real shit, to come up with a top 25 hip hop albums. Like that shit would really have me like, damn, for real? You know what I'm saying? Real shit.
Like I said, the criteria.
I don't think we can do it. That's why I don't fuck with these.
It would take more time to select the criteria than eventually you would to select the list. And you could do it, but you'd have to get the criteria done. And I think when I hear the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and I hear hip hop lists, I still think like, where's our representation? Where's our hip hop Hall of Fame? Where's our hip hop Hall of Fame committee? Somebody who is the trusted voice. So shit can drop like this. They could drop a list of the top 25 because again, who is passing on our legacy? Who's educating the next wave of people to these classics?
Vlad TV.
Right.
Lord
It's
Jamar.
not it's not the culture. It's the vendors of the culture, the peddlers. You know what I mean? It isn't hip hop, and I just don't understand why we have a lot of very rich hip hop artists in hip hop, but yet we don't have a hip hop museum. We don't have a hip hop, council or something to that effect.
But we can't get out of our own fucking way.
Yeah,
it's
man.
like that with everything.
It's just crazy.
Like, even if a motherfucker say, I'm going vegan now, you gonna have niggas talking shit about that. Like, it's just, no matter what you do, a motherfucker is gonna talk shit. Like, look, a motherfucker could be 600 pounds, drop down to 3, and a motherfucker still gonna say, you fat motherfucker.
Yeah, definitely. It's just, the world is unfortunately filled with unhappy people at the end of the day, and so you just have to,
You need to listen to Pharrell more often.
What was that shit? What was it for? Happy or whatever? Yeah.
Happy.
Yeah. So, you just gotta let it go, man, and just, keep it pushing, man.
Man, it's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
I just don't think we have. I don't know, man.
I just think we have too many opinions. And, you know what I mean? Like there's nobody in the forefront of it. Man.
When I think rock and roll, though, I think of impact, and if this nigga could stop rapping, stop fucking smoking, the epitome of a hip hop star who's a rock and roll Hall of Fame candidate in my book is a nigga like X.
Yeah.
He fits the criteria.
Oh, definitely. And it's, man, prayers to him and his people. I guess he checked himself into rehab or whatever, and it's just sad that he's not able to kick that addiction, man, because it's a motherfucker, and he looked like he was about to kind of like him a little comeback. He had him in the photo shoot with the little, unsolved mystery fit on or whatever. He looked like a detective and shit. You know what I mean? So I was excited for what was to come, and then unfortunately, here come drugs.
I got a question for y'all though.
Yeah.
You answer first, D.
Okay.
You don't even gotta answer this shit. But I got a question for you.
All right.
Who saved more black people, Harriet Tubman or Jesus?
On record? If we gotta go to the stats, Harriet is a LeBron, my brother. I mean, Jesus. I mean, I don't even see Jesus in the win column at this point. Look, I could be wrong. I mean, maybe there's.
I just wanted to, lighten the mood a little bit, but that was a good one though, ain't it?
Yeah, no. I mean, that's real spit. We gotta you gotta count. 1 for Harriet, 2 for Harriet. No, Jesus, you good, huh? 3 for Harriet, 4 for.
They gonna hate me now.
Nah, there's no hate on that. I mean, come on, it's jokes, man. People, you know what? That's it. That ties in perfectly with this Gina Rodriguez and all this other, crazy bullshit. Is that people are just angry nowadays, and they want to be victims, and they want to jump and be angry. And I know life is hard for motherfuckers. I definitely understand that, but people have to stop, not confronting their issues and having anger with other people, man. You gotta acknowledge self, and you gotta work on that, man, because that's some bullshit. What do you think on that, Simon?
About what? The Jesus and Harriet Tubman?
No, not the just the whole Gina Rodriguez. You never got to touch on that as far as when it comes to the use of the N word. Nigga.
I don't think it's an issue. I mean, I don't know why people are so sensitive to it. I mean, it's not said, or she didn't say it in a derogatory way. She's just repeating lyrics. So, I mean, it's common now. You know what I mean? It's again not a derogatory term. So I mean, she didn't use it in that intent, and I just everybody's just nitpicking. Nitpicking and trying to always come up with an issue, or it's always got to be a problem, or they got to be validated, or getting approval, by certain folks. And I just think everybody is just too fucking judgmental, to be honest with you. Everybody feel they got more power than what they do. And, like, everybody got to stop being so goddamn sensitive.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you as far as when it comes to the sensitivity issue, but I still think the word itself is a powerful word. So depending when it's used, who it's used against, it's a wild card. You don't know how someone's going to react.
True that.
And if you're not willing to probably get socked in the face, or cursed out, or have a drink thrown on you, or whatever the situation may be, then don't use the word. Sure. Stay in the safe zone. If you're going to go outside of that, you want to use the word, then it's going to be on you, because there will be consequences and repercussions sometimes for what you're saying. And she is feeling the wrath of that. Obviously, she doesn't have the Cardi, the Joe, the Jennifer Lopez, and the 20 million other people that aren't more than 10% black, or whatever fictional number you want to assign to that get the ability to use that. So I think you got to kind of keep the same energy, in my opinion, and that's where that gray line is. It's like, okay, so what is a percentage? I'm 50% nigga, so can I not say it? Am I cool?
Only half the time.
Only half the time, yeah.
Not on the off days.
Not on the off days, So if I'm 7, that's...
Hey, were you eating carne asada, motherfucker?
Not on the day that you eat carne asada. So that's the weird shit. It's like who gets a pass, who doesn't. It's like you got to use that same energy, in my opinion. You got to keep it the same way. You can't be picky and choosy. And I'm mad now, but I'm not mad because Cardi B just dropped a song called "Nigga, Nigga, Nigga." You know what I mean? And it's popping #1 on the billboards. But let some actress "Nigga, Nigga, Nigga." Oh hell no!
It's just fucked up because Antonio Brown can say cracker and nobody gives a fuck.
Right.
So
It's
yeah. Shit.
Yeah. I mean,
I know it's not the same. But,
definitely.
The thought was
right.
Like it's the same like intent behind nigga. Like if you meant nigga the way he meant cracker,
right?
Then
and that's why I understand why people get angry about it, because the pain that is attached to the word nigga. Cracker, there's no pain attached to that. It's like, oh, I'm a cracker. Oh, I get it. Saltines, no flavor. That's me, huh? But the pain that comes with that word. So that's why I understand why, especially a lot of older, brothers and sisters, as well as some of the more educated. No disrespect. I'm not saying that only uneducated people use the word, but I think they take that into consideration before speaking that way. But as you said, it's part of the culture now, and it has been, man. One of my favorite songs is Tribe Called Quest, Q-Tip, was it? Mr. Nigga? Nigga, yeah. You know what I mean? That shit is dope, man. So, before we get out of here, the game, the little I Love the Game lawsuit shit, right? So, he basically lost that court case where they said that he supposedly sexually assaulted this female, put his hands in her panties and grabbed her booty cheeks or whatever. She was awarded $7 million.
Yeah.
He appealed it, lost. Judgment came in today, $7 million. She has immediate access to his royalties, his touring, like all of his money, bank accounts, everything. Game went ahead and put up some prolific merchandise on his website. Sold out in a matter of moments, and some of his people, or some of Nipsey's people, were on Game's head on social media saying, man, you shouldn't be doing that shit. That shit is foul. So, Pooh, thoughts on what went down with Game and the Nip situation? And do you think that he was making those moves knowing that he was possibly going to lose his case and needing to go ahead and get some money?
To be honest with you, I didn't know about that shit until we discussed the topic. I seen from the jump him driving down the street crying and shit when Nip died, which, hey, he knew the nigga, whatever. I seen the nigga every day Nipsey Hustle Monday, making long ass paragraphs dedicating it to Nip and this and that. Like this is him. Like he's one of these. Like how can I say this shit? Like it's just like social media with niggas, with motherfuckers overreacting over the word nigga. How they pick and choose. Social media, man. You can't tell who's a fucking Sherm baby.
Ugh.
So just because Game is rich, you can't tell this nigga might have been fucking slow, because he does a lot of slow behavior type of shit. You know what I mean? Like he's a king dick rider. Don't get me wrong, I've liked some of his music through the years, still do every now and then, like a few of his tracks, but I just don't like. I don't like him as a person, and he probably felt like, oh, niggas be all on this West Coast shit, like, oh, if anybody can do it, I can. No, nigga, you can't do that. And you may be right, because like I said, I'm new to this. He figured, shit, if they gonna take my money, then I can offset this shit by selling this merchandise. He might have fucking made close to that money just off the merchandise.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Yeah.
I think it's whack. When I heard the track about a month ago, when he
rapping like him,
sounded like him, like, come on, man, that shit reminded me of Master P sounding like Scarface and Pac in '96. It's garbage.
What was that? Is there a heaven for a gangster?
It was all kind of shit. Like he had this, imagine this, imagine that. That shit sounded like never seen a man cry. You know what I mean? Like Game is just a fucking clown. He's a joke to me.
Simon Capizzi.
Nah, man. We mentioned Game many times before, and you know he's like, I mean, he's an artist, but I think he's a bigger fan than he is an artist. And it's crazy because he can mimic, like I said, he was mimicking Nas and mimicking Big, but you know, not just the pattern and the flow, but the voices and shit like that. So, I mean, he can impersonate and shit like that. So, I mean, of course he gonna run with it and do it. It's crazy. That's one expensive piece of ass though for $7 million. Like, dude, just for groping her.
Yeah, groping her vagina and her buttocks.
That's crazy.
And she gets. Let me read you the list of the shit that she gets access to in this judgment.
Yeah, and then with the prolific, that was Nipsey shit. Prolific, or
You know, he had that shit on the side of his face.
Oh, okay.
But here's the thing. Fun fact. Guess who actually owns that? Who the game had to get clearance from to be able to
Black
even do
Sabbath?
that? Nah. Faith Evans. She has something called Prolific Records.
What?
So she owns that, yeah. So let's see.
Yeah, she probably took a couple hundred to pay her and Stevie J rent. The VH1 checks ain't coming no more and shit. Like, man.
This fool says.
Speaking of VH1, the crazy thing is, old girl that sued the game was on his show on fucking VH1.
Are you serious?
She was a contestant on
that
show.
Yeah, supposedly that's what
That's
happened.
when it went down?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was overseas or some shit like that. Cause didn't
No.
he have a rape case or some shit?
He had some crazy shit that went down too, like that. Yeah, 7.1
You
million.
better go back to that girl that he didn't marry with the kids and shit like that. And
Teacher.
stay out of trouble. You know what I mean?
He might have to.
Dummy,
At
man.
this point, 7.1 mil, man.
She ain't gonna take him back. Shit. None of his royalties and shit is getting taken out.
Yeah, royalties, show money.
She older though.
Any money he makes off his likeness, any money he makes off his record sales. So he basically, he's putting out this Born to Rap.
He's signed to Death Row.
He's putting out this Born to Rap. For him to see any money, Born to Rap has to do more than $7.1 million worth of business.
Do you think he still got an impact like that to generate those revenues?
He'd have to be a part of a real big tour and get paid a real large amount to do that. But
I mean, where have you heard the gang doing, any?
Well, he was just at this Van Halen Center or some shit like that as part of a West's tour or whatever. But now he might have to, yeah.
I mean, but
if he's smart, he tries to bring G Unit back together for a little G Unit tour. People will go see that shit.
Nah, 50 ain't allowing that shit.
You never know. If Game come home, 50 might roll out there.
Fuck no. Man, 50 like to see motherfuckers when they down, he kicking. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, he didn't say anything about Game getting popped. So,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The game is so beneath him now. You know what I mean? Like
that's crazy.
he ain't. You know, that's
Beneath him.
yeah.
Damn.
He ain't. That you know what I mean? That's not a rivalry no more. You know.
And
Well-
it's crazy because I think Game actually won that battle.
No, of
Yeah,
course.
I think he did. Yeah, Games won a lot of his battles. You know, it's just that musically he hasn't been able to create the same type of moments that he was with the first record.
When the Dr. Dre co-sign went away, the stardom
Yeah,
went with it.
yeah. The moment, that
Yeah.
big moment hit went away. You know, it's like he was always chasing that. through the
And,
rest of
he,
his
and he
career.
happened to hit when Being the Blood was at its peak, the
Yeah.
popularity. That we was cripped out for so many years. It was the thing to do.
Yeah.
And I see they slowly making a comeback. Don't get it. They coming. I think they coming back. I think they coming.
The Cryptic is scheduled on Saturday, fool.
They retroing them niggas like Jordans.
Oh shit! Well, gentlemen, we about to get out of here real quick. Sound Capone, anything you want to say before we dip dive, socialize?
Shout out to everybody tuning in, man. Have a productive week and shit. Tune in next week.
Yeah. What about you, Big Pooh?
Junior's a blood.
Man, this has been your boy Hip Hop Ohead, aka D Moraney, signing out. Another episode of Honest Conversation about hip hop. You can catch us on Spotify. You can catch us on Google Play, and always you can check us out on the Libsyn site. Until next time, peace.